Hello, everybody. My name is Helen Yapel, and I'm here to tell my opiate story, my journey. Began in 1996. I was working in West Point, and I was doing banquets, functions, big functions. So anybody who's been in that business knows it's pretty laborious, intense. I was according to protocol, I was lifting a 50-gallon jug with another person, one on each side. I'm on one side, he's on the other. And it's full of iced tea, and we're putting it from the floor onto the banquet table. And I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I did everything correctly. When I was coming up, I got excruciating, breathtaking, doubling over pain. I couldn't even stand straight from. I felt sorry for my partner because I had dropped a 50-gallon jug, which hurt him. Um, I ended up, of course, going to the doctor through the job, and then, of course, all the procedures started. Going through X-rays, MRIs, anything that was needed. I followed procedure. Ultimately, I did not go back to that job because I was out of work for a while. It was a brand new job, so I wasn't able to keep it. And I was placed on my first pill back then was Norco. Norco, 500 milligrams, and I think it was over 325 of Tylenol. And from there, I think a few months would go by before I started seeing a psychiatrist because, of course, the depression would set in, anxiety set in. And I was on, before I knew it, I was on benzos, psychotropics, pain meds, muscle relaxers, from Xanax to Paxil to Soma to all the way up to methadone. Starting on Norco, going to Percocet, and then going to oxycodone, OxyContin, and then methadone. Now, mind you, and anybody who knows and lives this life knows that by that point, it's a lifestyle. You're a slave to it at that point. You're doctor hopping. You're doing everything. You're addicted, and you're doing what you can to get your fix, to be normal. And someone like me who was raising kids at that time, was raising a lot of kids at that time, and made a lot of mistakes, sleeping my way through it. Not only was I taking care of kids, I was taking care of parents. I had a father who was a quadriplegic for 7 years, last 7 years of his life. During that time, I was self-medicating tremendously to the point of overdose, and overdosing 3 different times. To the last time, one of the times overdosing on my father's floor, where he couldn't get up to help me. That had to be devastating for him. Angels were sitting on my shoulder, for sure. The times that and that's just pills, mind you, because I was an 80s kid, so I was a cocaine girl too, so I had a lot of stupid choices that I had to overcome. But my opiate addiction had nothing to do with choices that I was making bad for myself. I thought I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I was following doctor's orders. And then I became addicted, and my whole world fell apart. I became what I call now a sleeper. Someone who is walking and talking and might look like they're functioning, but their brains just aren't up to par. Part of them, they're sleeping, and they're literally sleeping through their life. And that's what the majority of our society is doing because of this epidemic that we've created, and the lifestyle that goes along with it. It's so damaging. It takes so much time from us. But let me tell you, it's so fixable. But it takes work. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes want. You have to want better. You have to know you deserve better. You have to understand, everybody has different beliefs on life. How many lives we get? Is there reincarnation? Well, this is one thing I do know. Regardless of how many lives we may or may not get, we only remember the ones that we're in. So we have to live them accordingly. We have to hold ourselves to higher standards. We have to allow our brains to wake up. Now, with the years that I abused these opiates, it came to my daughter, my youngest daughter, getting pregnant, looking at me and saying, "You change your life, or you won't see your grandson." For me, and anybody that knows me knows that that's really all it's going to take. It's got to hit me here for me to change it. And that's going to do it, because I'm a mom, I'm a grandmom, I'm a nurturer, I'm a mom. It's what I am, first and foremost, with all my mistakes. So, 6 years ago, I said no more. And I did no more. And I took one pill and removed it, and another and removed it. And I used each one of those pills to get rid of the other. That's how I did it. I was sick of hearing from my doctors that I would be on these medicines for the rest of my life, that I would have surgeries on my spine until it was rebuilt. No, that wasn't happening to me. Went off all those pharmaceuticals and then lived a more holistic lifestyle, but still wasn't really knowing what holistic and homeostasis meant until I delved into cannabis. And cannabis is what saved my life and saved me from that governmental way of life. And that's what it is, and that's what I'm going to call it. It's a governmental way of life. It's the way you want us to live. And I'm not doing it. I'm going to live my best life and be my best self and be the best person I can be to all, including me. Because I simply choose to. Then the work begins. You must live those changes that you keep saying you want. So I do. I had a heart attack a couple years ago. I changed some more things. Quit smoking. Eat cleaner. I see my blood work every 3 months. I know what I need to tweak. These past 3 months, it's told me I need to exercise more. I need a little more intake of water. I have an alkaline diet. And now let's see what it says in the next 3 months. I don't live on pharmaceuticals anymore, and I'm a heart patient with a stent. I don't have the back issues I used to because I stretch, I yoga, I breathe, I find other ways, and I self-soothe. These are all doable things for everyone. I am not the strongest woman in the world. So with all that being said, live the changes you want to see in your life. This is Helen Yapel. Be the best you can be.